is Chef B. Welcome to my channel. This will be my first video I'm posting. On my page is going to be consistent of me cooking, and sometimes you might catch me going to like different restaurants trying different food, but mostly it'll be me cooking. So today I'll be making teriyaki bowls. One will be salmon and the other will be steak. So first I'm going to get started with my steak. I have to break it down so it can marinate, tenderize, and then I will get on with the vegetables and the cooking. Our pineapple is going to be our tenderizer for our steak. Pineapples are natural tenderizers because of the enzymes that are in them, and the acid can break down the protein. So, and we're also using these as our bowls for our rice. So we're going to go ahead and take out the center of the pineapple. Sit this one to the side, give it some room. These are going to be set to the side. We're not using these till a little bit later, but you see it's fully hollowed out. So you have your pineapples for your rice and your pineapples for your steak. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the steak in half because I'm using the other half for a different dish for later on in my video. So we use the bigger steak for the rice. So I'm gonna place our steak in here, the pineapples, I also have this steak marinade that I'm gonna use. It's a 2-minute marinade. It has roasted garlic, herbs, and spices. So I'm just put a little bit of this in here, mix it in with the pineapples and the steak. Now, one thing about me, whenever I cook, I don't use recipes and I don't use measurements. I can tell you what's in it, but I can't tell you how much. Honestly, I don't think recipes are really necessary because everybody likes different levels of seasoning. So it just depends on the person. Here we go. Got our steak in here with our pineapples and our marinade. We're gonna let this sit. Public service announcement: when dealing with raw meat, whenever you're switching tasks, wash your hands. Not even just raw meat, in general, in the kitchen, whenever you switch tasks, you should always wash your hands. You can no longer use this. It had raw meat on it. You can't use this. You have to wash it first. Next, I already cut up the bell peppers. So we have our bell peppers and then some carrots. Put our bell peppers and our carrots in the same bowl because they'll be sauteed in just a few minutes. Sit that to the side. You're going to grab your broccoli. So, whenever you have green vegetables, you always want to blanch and shock them just so they keep that bright green color. Now, just like with the steak, I'm only using half of this because this will be used for a later video. We're back with the clean, washed knife. Now, when you blanch and shock, all it is you're putting your vegetables in boiling water for about 2 minutes until they turn bright green, and then you remove them and shock them in ice cold water. That'll stop the cooking process. And then later on, once you're ready to actually cook your broccoli, you'll just saute it for a few minutes, season it, salt, pepper, butter, and you're good to go. So you just want to break your broccoli down to about basically bite-sized pieces. Because whenever you cook, you don't want a person to have to use a knife if they don't have to. So bite-sized broccoli. So as I wait for my water to boil, I'm gonna give you guys a little information about myself. I'm a Johnson & Wales graduate, but I'm currently still in school. I'll be getting my bachelor's in 2022. I've been cooking since I was little. I started with my grandma and my dad. I have a lot of cooks in my family, but nobody's ever really taken it serious. So I felt like I should be the one to do that, and everyone wants me to have a restaurant. So I'm gonna work to that goal, and they all want to work in it, so why not? I don't really have a specific cooking style. I like to cook everything, literally Asian food, Caribbean food, African food, whatever it is, you name it, I'll try and make it. I like to be versatile, diverse. Nobody wants to eat the same thing all the time. However, I am from Atlanta, so I do have a special place in my heart for soul food and Cajun food. So you'll see a lot of those influences. Even when I do cook other food, you'll probably see me throw a little cayenne pepper in something. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be cayenne somewhere in my food, but yeah. I was gonna wait till May, till after my graduation, but we're on quarantine. I'm probably not having a graduation, so. Now you wanna make sure whenever you're trying to boil water, as long as it's not for something sweet, if you're boiling water, put salt in it. It makes it boil so much faster. So it's about where you want it to be, almost to boiling. So dump my broccoli in. I'm gonna give it about 2 minutes till it's bright green, and then I'm gonna take it out, put it in my ice bath. Make sure you have something you can scoop your broccoli out with. It's been about 2 minutes. Guys, a quick look. So you see how it's that bright green? That's how it should look. Now while you're shocking your broccoli, you want to go ahead and pour out the old water, put in some new water to get ready to cook your rice. Now, you want to go ahead and turn one of your pans on. You probably want to do your biggest pan just so you'll have room to saute. What kind of oil do I want to use? I'm going to use some extra virgin olive oil to saute. I usually use that with more delicate food and vegetables. Now, if I'm like frying something, then I'll use vegetable oil. But if I'm sauteing, it's going to be olive. Unless whatever I'm cooking needs to be at a really high temperature. Because you don't want to burn the olive oil and then you'll have a tainted flavor. So you have your bowl with your broccoli, your carrots, and your peppers. Easiest way to keep your food from sticking is a hot pan and cold fat. So you heat your pan up first. Once it gets to that temperature, do not. If your pan starts smoking, turn it down and give it some time, because if you put your food in there while your pan is smoking, it's either gonna burn or catch on fire. You don't want either of those. Pause. Everybody wait. If you ever have a fire in your kitchen, don't put salt on it, don't put water on it, smother it. Cover it, put a lid on it, put a sheet pan on it, whatever. Do not put water. Remove it from the heat source before you do anything. Remove it from the heat source, smother it. That's it. No salt, no water, smother. Okay. Alright, so our pan is starting to get a little hot. Also, can't forget about our pineapple. Just gonna cut them up a little bit smaller. They don't have to be that small. Our pineapple and our veggies. Of course, you gotta add your basics, your salt, pepper, as you go. So I can start to cook this, and then I'll taste a piece of it. If it's not fully seasoned to where I want it, I can add more salt. Now you may have to cook your vegetables in batches, depending on how much you have and how big your pan is. So I'm just gonna scoop out what I can. Now, saute is a French word. Saute means to jump or to flip. So basically, you're making the food jump or flip out of the pot. While our veggies are cooking, I'm gonna remove the steak from the refrigerator. Take it out of your marinade. Go ahead and turn your pan on so it can start to heat up. Remember I said hot pan, cold fat, no stick. That beautiful marinade. About to slide out the bowl. Once your first batch of veggies are done, you're gonna add some more oil to your pan and add your next batch. So while our pan is heating up, I'm gonna remove the steak from the marinade. Remove our steak from the marinade. So just take it out. Take all your pineapples off. Wash your hands. Okay, so even though we had it in a marinade with the great sweet pineapple juice and all the flavors in that marinade, we're still gonna add pepper and salt to our steak just to enhance those flavors. Salt is not a seasoning, it is an enhancer, a flavor enhancer. So please do not put pounds and pounds of salt on your food. That will lead to high cholesterol, high blood pressure, a whole bunch of problems that you don't need. Rub that in. And wash your hands again. Get some of that juice on there. And your pan is hot for your steak. So you're gonna add a little oil. You're gonna add in your steak. Whichever side you want to be your presentation side is the side that you'll put down first. Make sure you have some tongs on standby so you can flip your steak. You're going to leave it on that side for a while just so you can build up some color. Whenever you get color on like vegetables or meat, it's actually the sugar is caramelizing. It's called caramelization. So the sugars are browning, and that's what gives you that nice color, or what we like to call GBD, golden brown delicious. Now I'm leaving this eye on, but I'm moving the pan to the max so the pan doesn't overheat, but I still want my eye to stay hot because I'm about to use this pan to make the salmon. So for the salmon, I'm just simply going to use the same marinade as the steak. However, I did add some of the teriyaki sauce into the marinade for the salmon. This salmon does have the skin on it, so I'll be removing the skin. So here I have my fillet knife. This is usually what you use for fish when you're removing either skin or breaking down a whole fish. So I'm just right now just trying to find my best point of access to start to remove my skin. I'm going to start over here. So when you're removing the skin, this knife, see the thing about this knife, they use it because it's bendable, so you're able to maneuver better with it. So I'm going to start here, go lay flat. See how I did? Oh, missed a little spot. But for the most part, pretty good job. Didn't take me long. Whole piece of skin still intact. This could also be used for like garnishing or something. You could fry it, it'll crisp up, make a really nice garnish. So like I was saying, we're just going to be doing the same thing we did with the steak. So it'll be also put in a marinade. However, I did add some teriyaki sauce to the marinade. Mix it all up, but be very gentle because salmon is delicate, so it will start to tear and rip if you're too heavy with it. You know, try and keep your pieces of fish intact just for presentation purposes. I'm gonna put this in the fridge real quick while I take care of the rice and the steak. Rice is boiling back here. Make sure you continue to stir it so your rice doesn't stick. Because salmon is so delicate, it doesn't have to marinate in the refrigerator for too long. So in a minute, we'll be taking the salmon out and go ahead and cook the salmon. start to heat up your pan, take your salmon out of the fridge. Then let your pan heat up. Add your oil. What is it? Hot pan, cold fat. No stick. Flip the steak over. Some more time to cook over here. Make sure you watching your rice. Because rice and grits are the easiest to mess up. Doesn't matter how long you've cooked. If you don't keep your eye on it, you will mess it up. Alright, our pan is warm. Same thing with our steaks. Presentation side down first. Just want to brush off any excess pineapple that you have on there. And like I said before, just because it was in a marinade does not mean it doesn't need to be seasoned. Salt, pepper. You can kind of look at it and kind of see when it starts to become almost done, because it'll start to turn a lighter pink. So as you can see, it's starting to get light pink towards the bottom, and then as it goes towards the top, that gives you an indication of how done your salmon is. I like to keep it down on the same side for a while because it gives it a nice even color. As you can see, my steak didn't come out too even, but it's fine. See how much color I can get on it. Rice is almost done. Okay, so once your rice is done, you want to combine your rice in the same bowl as your veggies. So now the only thing we have left to do is to plate up our dinner. And that is all I have for you guys today. Tune in next time. Who knows what I'll be making. But see you guys. I'll add a picture at the end of this video of the finishing product. You guys like and subscribe my video. Follow me, add me on Instagram at Miss B's Table. That's my food page, and my regular page is at zy.kera. I will put those in the video, and catch you guys next time.